Hello, friend, welcome. In this video, I'm going to go over what it really takes to operate and manage an assisted living or group home in Florida and what it takes to really succeed in this business. This is a business of caregiving. And when you decide to expand your caregiving capacity to where you are caring for multiple seniors who are in need of your services in your heart, it requires a different level of capacity. My goals for you today is that you're going to walk away with how you can begin to expand your capacity so that you can care for your senior, care for yourself, make a huge difference for both you and your senior, and be okay with making money doing it. We know that assisted living is very much regulated. There's a lot of regulations that needs to be put in place. And we know that burnout happens, especially when you don't have the right strategies and you're not sure what it really takes to succeed in this business. I will give you a hint. It's not just your capacity to serve, which is the number one ingredient, but you need a lot more than that. Stay with me. We're going to go over some skills that are necessary that will bring you success. We know that the senior care industry is a great industry to be in. Not only do you make a difference, but you can also make a lot of money doing it. But it's not an easy business. It's not set it, forget about it. It's not, let me make a lot of money. It's going to be easy money. It is not any of those things. So the first thing I want to go over is what is the difference between serving and actually running a business that is very much regulated. We know that you can close your eyes and take care of your client. And a lot of my caregivers, they struggle in that area because you could be so focused on caregiving and you neglect everything else. So that mindset shift is necessary where you are also providing the caregiving, but you also realize that you are a business owner and there are things that needs to be done when managing a business. For example, checking your book, making sure you know how much money is coming in and out, dealing with your employees, and making sure that you understand just because the money is coming in doesn't mean you should give it away. This is something I dealt with personally. When someone with a good heart have money, we have to be extra careful about what we do with that money because we can be helping so much that we forget about ourselves and the other responsibilities that we are responsible for. So that mindset shift is something that is necessary because not only will you have money coming in, but what you do with that money and also what you need to do to have the money comes in. All in all, it is your heart to serve that will help you bring the most money because how you help people feel, how you take care of their parent, how you love upon them, the universe will reward you. People will stay with you. They're going to send their friends to you, both residents and your staff. Certain issues people have, you will never have. And even with all of those goodness, you have to be extra careful because if you don't balance your heart of service versus the fact that you're a business owner, you will suffer on the business side of things. I come across people that have been in the business for a while that neglect that business side of operating a very regulated assisted living structured type of business. And it's not because they meant to do that. It's because they are not aware that they are neglecting certain part of their responsibilities. So how do you juggle the two? When it comes to regulation, you want to make sure you have check sheets so that you don't have to remember every single thing. You want to make sure when it comes to the emotional aspect of who you are as a caring being. I want you to be a loving person, okay? But I want you to take your loving side and keep that in check so that when it's time to budget accordingly and one of your staff have an emergency, pay attention to how much you're giving. You should still give. In fact, when you give, you open doors, but give to a certain amount to where you can still do what needs to be done and you're not neglecting one for the other, okay? When you start managing, It will make sense. Regulations are easy to deal with. When you open, ACA requires that you have a minimum sets of rules and regulation. For my clients, for example, we put your binders in place. We have check sheets inside of them. We have your policies, your procedures. Your job is to keep that system. Keep that structure and force yourself first to stay within those guidelines and make sure you make training your number one priority. For me, every month we had training and it was mandatory that everyone attended those trainings. For example, we had 12-hour shift and my training would start at 7:30 in the morning because that means the person who is getting off at 7 still have an opportunity to stay and be trained, and the person who's coming in at 7 still get the training that are necessary, and anyone else who is off will just have to make time to attend those trainings. Have your training established very early on, at least a month in advance, so that people can make plans and make it fun. Okay, training is training. Of course, you're going to pay them for the time that they're going to spend for the training, but bring food, give them breakfast, make it a conversation, make it fun. Yeah, we're here to learn, but we're also here to network amongst ourselves because we are the community that serve our seniors. You rely on your caregivers and your caregivers rely on you. So yes, we know about each other's businesses accordingly. We help each other out. We do the best that we can to be a good person to each other. Maximize those trainings. Bring in the people throughout that entire 30 days that you see things being done a certain way that you may or may not like it. I used to take notes. So certain things, if it wasn't something that was imminent, that I needed to address right away, I left it alone. I kept that for training day. And at the end of the 30 days, I had a list of things that we need to train on. And I would bring the proper professional to train. Medication cabinet is a big one. And if you see staff are doing things that are not supposed to be done the correct way, bring your pharmacist to re-emphasize how things should be done. And remember, you don't need to have a medical background. I certainly did not have one. Issues that come up with residents and their families with the menu. Bring that dietitian to come and teach your staff. And if you don't feel comfortable teaching something, bring the proper professional to teach it, especially if you don't have the credentials to do it. So trainings become, oh my God, I didn't know that I can do this. I didn't know I was doing this the incorrect way. Here are the areas that we can improve. And for me, I always started with, what are the areas that you guys see that I need to improve in? And I let it be okay for them to tell me some things that I may do and that are affecting them in a ways that are not helpful or that are not bringing value to them or to the resident. And it becomes like an easier atmosphere to deal with when your staff know that you are not just there to tell them about themselves, but they can also tell you about yourself respectfully, okay? Because you're being respectful to them, they're being respectful to you. And then it feels like you are not my boss. We are a team. And it's easier to say that I am the leader, but people can tell if you are a true leader or if you're a boss. If you're pointing fingers all the time and no one can tell you what you're doing wrong, you're a boss. And being a boss is not fun. Learn to become a leader where people become loyal to the leader. People begin to love the leader. People want to be around the leader. People are inspired by the leader. People run away from the boss. They see the boss coming and it brings anxiety. Suddenly you could see the fake smile because they know if they don't smile at you, you're going to feel some kind of way. And now you can sense the tension that your presence is bringing. Those are signs of symptoms that you are a boss. You don't want to be a boss, especially in caregiving. It will be felt. So yes, regulations are easy to navigate with when you know what to do, when you have the proper system and you have the proper strategies and you know what to do. And training is your best friend. Checklists are your best friend. Okay, so I used to require on duty an off-duty briefing. So every person coming in will brief the next person about what's going on at the facility. And also when we receive medication, what's going on all together. I want to know things about the shift, anything, any updates on residents, any changes on behavior, any updates about their doctors or with family members, and also any updates on medication deliveries, anything at all that we need to know. At the end of each shift, each employee would let the next person know about it. But we know sometimes life happens to where you gave your briefing, but you forgot to say something. So what I did was I did a WhatsApp group chat, whereas the person could be on their way home and they remembered something that they didn't say before, and they go into the group chat and they put it. And they don't have to worry about speaking with me or the other employee on shift. We all see that the alert comes on, that there's a new information in the chat, and you go and you listen to it and you acknowledge it. And that system alone was so efficient. You would not believe how much pain and suffering and headaches that little bit of WhatsApp group chat for employees and myself made life so much easier. I used to visit my ALF not every day, and most of the time I rely on that group chat to know what's going on. So when I do go and visit, I was the administrator. I picked up shifts only when it was necessary. I didn't have to be on duty every single day. So I had my days where I would go check the medication book, check with the menus, make sure that if there was leftover food in the refrigerator, everything was properly labeled for the health department. Make sure the place is clean, my residents are happy, my staff are happy, and have meetings with my resident doctors to make sure that things are going well with them. But that WhatsApp group chat I found made my life so much easier, because if you imagine you have to call three different staff and ask them different questions about different things. Now you have all of that information being dropped into the group chat. And now you can find out what you need to know, and you may have to call one person for clarification, but the more you systemize it, the less hectic it becomes, and people feel comfortable. Because then, if you have to call someone, you may not call them, right? Because you're thinking, I don't want to talk to this person right now. I just got off duty. I got to breathe a little bit. But if you go into that group chat, you drop that message on and you're done with that. That's easy to do. Simple system goes a long way. So how do you know you are ready to manage your ALF? How do you know what readiness look like? Well, if you put yourself in the right environment, if you have the right people with you, if you are willing to keep an open mind to learn as you go, you are ready. Because everything you're going to do in this business, you're going to learn. Your golden heart is the only thing you're not going to learn. Everything else you're going to learn, because your heart is going to tell you to do the right things. And when you couple doing the right things with the right strategies, there is a win-win here. So the other areas that you want to focus on is marketing. You want to make sure that you are okay with allowing your assisted living business to be a public place. That means sharing videos online. That means taking pictures of your residents when they are having a good time, and the family members will appreciate that. That means putting all that information into your Google business profile, so that someone who is looking for a home for mom, that they would know this is the right place for them by just looking at the pictures. And you don't need to be able to do all of that. It is very affordable to find a virtual assistant or someone, even in your family, your teenage son or daughter, or someone, your nephews and nieces. They can do a lot of that for you, and you pay them. Kids love to be paid. And it's easy for them. You set up a WhatsApp page. As a matter of fact, that WhatsApp group that you're going to create for your staff, They're also going to send you those beautiful moments when so and so is just having such a wonderful day. Encourage them to do a video and post it into the chat. And your teenage son or daughter can take that same video and publish it online for you. You didn't do anything hard. It's just the right strategies. Remember, I said earlier it was not hard because honestly, it isn't. It's just you shifting your mindset, you learning that you can actually do this, you knowing that you deserve to do this is all it takes sometimes. So readiness look like being open, treating people right, knowing the right strategies to implement, and be okay to allow your assisted living business to be a public space where seniors thrive, have a good life. You hire people who do the right thing. You're not going to care how much experience they have. If you notice they're not doing the right thing, you're going to get rid of them because you are here to protect our seniors. You are here to protect your business. You are here to create legacy because for the first time, you'll have access to creating your own income. You will create it. You will learn how to properly deal with that income, how to preserve it, and how to pass it on to the next generation if that's your choosing. Because you're creating a business that you could pass on. You're creating generational wealth. And for some of us, this is the first time where we have ever had the opportunity to do so. And for some of us, for most of us, this is the first time for the bloodline. You hear me? I said bloodline. Okay. I am first generation. My husband is first generation. Could you imagine that? Now, for the first time, you are changing the direction of your bloodline. This is why I take this so very seriously. Because if you think about it, doing things scared set you free. And I am testimony of that. I am always scared whenever I'm doing something new. You will catch me saying, "Oh my God, I'm so excited." Okay, now you know my secret. It's because I'm nervous, okay? I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it anyway because I deserve to live a good life. I deserve to change the bloodline for my next generation. They deserve to not having to start over from scratch. That poverty I hate so much. And my desire is to help as many people get out of it as possible from ever and to prevent their bloodlines from ever being poor again. When you open your assisted living business, this is what you get to achieve. So, yes, it is hard. Yes, it is worth it. And hard things pay off huge. Okay, I said a lot here. So, now let's get into burnout. Why do people burn out? What if I said that being burnt out is a mindset? Think about it a little bit. Because if we can change our mindset from thinking we need to do everything alone, that if we can shift our mindset to think that we deserve to have the right type of help and we deserve to be off. Because sometimes we can care for everybody else, and I've been there. We could be so afraid of people calling us selfish that we say yes to everything and we say no to everything about ourselves. My challenge for you is to be okay with saying no. On your days off, after you've caregiven to your seniors and everybody else, I want you to say yes to go and get a massage. I want you to say yes to going and getting your nails done. I want you to say yes to go grab a chair and sit by the beach and do nothing or read a book or watch some YouTube videos. Really, you don't need any money to do right by you, to say yes to you. You could literally grab a chair and go sit at the beach for free. You could find a beautiful lake and sit in front of it in your car for free. You can go to a park and you could find a nice grassy area, put out a blanket, and just dream for free. So please, I've been there too, where I say, "Oh, I don't have any money to do all these things." Well, start with where you don't need any money. Do the things that don't require you to have any money at all. You could lay on your bed and sleep all day for free. Okay? Believe it or not, there was a point where I made a list about the things that I can do to take care of myself for free. Because guess what? The things that required money, I didn't have the money to do those things yet. But once I started to take care of myself with the things that was for free, I got comfortable with saying no. Know that I can save the world, not everybody at the same time, saving me first. Everything changes because going back, I became a mom at a very young age. Like right now, I have a teenager who's graduating this year, okay? And I look like this. Not to tell my secrets, but I became a mom very early. Could you imagine coming from poverty to having children early, having had no opportunity to actually enjoy life? You don't even know what enjoying life is. What is that? And you find yourself helping everybody but you're falling apart. So burnout is a mindset. So I want you to begin shifting that mindset with doing the things for yourself that are for free, getting comfortable with saying no, making your days off. It was so bad to the point where there was a time where I had to choose whether I was going to clean my house or sleep. And it was tough for me to say, oh my God, I'm just going to sleep. Listen, if you decide to judge me, you're right to do so. But I will tell you, it was the right decision for me at the time. That was another time where I had to choose, okay, am I going to sit and learn and take this money and pay a mentor to help me? Or am I going to, and take the time to actually sit in that learning when you have little kids running around and you have a house that look like everything is all over the place and you look around you, everything seems they're falling apart and you making the decision to put yourself first. These are tough choices, I'm telling, and people will judge you. Sometimes your own partner will judge you. They'll be like, how do you sit here and the house is a mess and you're in front of a computer learning? Or you sitting in a corner reading a book? What are you doing? To the wrong mindset, it just looked like you're crazy. Yes, I did look like I was crazy. But I'm telling you, those hard decisions I made, those hard choices, those I'm okay with being judged, those knowing people walk into your house and you can the thickness of their judgments they can literally slice your throat open. Okay, it's just their level of judgment is just so high because they don't understand you. But looking back, I am so grateful I made those decisions because now I can pick up and go as I please. I have a house cleaner, you know. And looking back, it was crazy to have wanted the things that I wanted. But now looking at things, my bloodline, the way that my children see the world, literally see the world because we travel, we see the world, the way that I'm able to hire help. If I want my house clean, if I want the clothes to be washed, if I don't want to cook my food, but I needed to make all of these hard decisions when I couldn't have done it to shift my mindset, to expand my capacity so that I could receive this version that I am today. And I'm still making hard, tough choices. And these things don't stop. So, yes, burnout is a mindset. And I know I told you a long story about what you can do about it, how you can begin. And I am confident that you can do it. And I am confident that you'll be grateful that you did it. And I am confident that you will change your life, the life of your seniors, the lifeline of your bloodline, in the way you see the world. And guess what? You deserve all of it. And I am proud of you for deciding that you're going to take some of these steps. So let me know in a comment, what is one thing that you're going to start working on? What is one thing that you're going to tell yourself that you're going to do for yourself or for your business. One big takeaway. On the next video, I'm going to cover the difference between assisted living, adult family care home, in independent living structures. My free workbook will help you tremendously. You'll be able to keep everything organized as you research, as you figure out what you need to do and what you need to avoid. Click the link in the description. You'll learn more. And let me know if you have any questions. I read all the comments and I may just do a video on your next question. Until next time, I'm Carlene Cadet Francois. I help busy professionals convert buildings into thriving assisted living in group homes in Florida. I also help you realize that you deserve better. If you find this video helpful, please consider to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Talk soon.